Be ready. Start. Madam, with regard to free and compulsory education, I would like to say that the states which are giving free education have not realized, and the center also has not realized, that merely not charging fees does not mean giving free education. Stop. The cost of textbooks, the often changed textbooks, the cost of paper material, and the compulsion about using paper and pencil or paper and ball pen right from the primary stage, the cost of uniforms, the cost in respect of games fees, all this comes to so much that the words free education become a mockery. Stop. It is much better to say that the government is not giving free education. Stop. The same is the state of affairs about scholarships. Stop. I went to a district headquarters to find out what information could be passed on up to the village level about the various scholarships and facilities available right from the center to the state, and you would be surprised, madam, that the central district authority of the place or even the headquarters authority of the place is not at all aware that there are scholarships available not only to the sections of students which I do not want to repeat, but also the children of the defense personnel and the children of the railway personnel. Stop. Para. I can say here that one can almost challenge the education ministry to produce an overall picture within a week's time and show what are the requirements of compulsory education in the whole country as far as funds are concerned and how much is being spent. Stop. I come to the point of lack of coordination. Stop. The education ministry does not know that there are very many scholarships today open to children of the personnel employed under the various ministries. For example, the defense ministry, the railways, the labor ministry, and various other ministries of that type. Stop. Only if all those resources are pooled together and a complete picture of educational expenditure is taken, will they be able to say what expenditure is being incurred, what facilities are available, and what scholarships are available. Stop. Para. I would therefore like to say that it was very heartening to hear only this morning on Doordarshan that the Prime Minister had reiterated that there would be no reduction in the expenditure on health and education because these are very important organs of development of a nation. Stop. Time and again, we are assured by the government that there will not be only any curtailment in the expenditure on education at the primary stage and on women's education. Stop. But you look at the budgets made available to the Social Welfare Board, to the National Council for Women's Education, and to various other agencies too, you will find that there is drastic curtailment. Stop. What happens is that as the policy goes on changing every couple of years, people lost all confidence in the government's sincerity about delivering anything on a long term basis. Stop. I would refer to one example, and that is about the policy originally determined to train midwives through the Health Ministry and the Social Welfare Board. Stop. Para. The Health Ministry had assigned this task to the Social Welfare Board, and later on it was found that there was not enough employment potential and the scheme was withdrawn. Stop. Sir, while speaking yesterday, I referred to the problem created for the Export Promotion Council by the quality of goods supplied, which lacked both imagination and integrity. Stop. Therefore, not only have standards to be laid down, but some help has also to be given by way of packing properly to all those people who would also like to ask the Honorable Minister to clarify as to how he is going to lay down the standard for the goods. Stop. Will the contract between the buyer and the seller be concluded first and then the quality or standard will be decided? Question mark. The question of price has to be settled, and we also know that the price varies according to the country that buys the article. Stop. I think the House rightly laid emphasis on the desirability of fixing some standard for goods for the home market and also for our imports. Stop. The standards for imports, I am told, are governed by other international import rules. Stop. Those also must be varying according to the country of import. Stop. In any case, unless there are some standards laid down for the sale of goods in the home market, there will be difficulty. Stop. Sir, there are service cooperative societies, there are consumer cooperative societies, there are marketing societies and warehousing corporations, which are also a form of cooperative societies. Stop. Para. So we have got all rural population in making their farm and their small industries go forward and improve. Stop. I have only to request the Honorable Minister and to bring to his notice the following, not by way of any criticism, because in every movement it is quite natural that in the beginning, when we want to give it a good impetus, when we want to carry it forward into villages, then in the zeal to spread it far and wide, we lost sight of the qualitative aspect of the movement. Stop. Let us not forget that the qualitative aspect of the movement has to be improved. Stop. Now, sir, the movement of cooperatives was started in order to lift the downtrodden people, in order to remove exploitation in the villages. Stop. But what do we find? Question mark. We find that this government good movement of cooperative societies is being exploited by the very people whom we wanted not to come in the way of the downtrodden to march forward. Stop. Whenever a cooperative society is started in any village, we found those very people who have some stake, who are somebody, who have their farming flourishing, joining the movement. Stop. They take charge of these cooperative societies and take advantage out of them. Stop. They get loans on very easy terms, and it is necessary that they should invest these loans on the productive side, either or farming. Stop.